Hello, welcome back to Wendy's Colouring, and today, yes, the lovely people at Lightwish have kind of sent me a couple of goodies that I thought I'd share with you. So I have this lovely swatch book, which we'll look at in a second, and they've also sent me some soft pastels. So I think these are dry pastels as opposed to oil, but let's see what it says. The extra fine pastels from Maria are very soft and have a large field of application. Our pastels consist of finest artist pigments, granting intense and rich colours. These pastels are suitable for large areas as well as detailed drawing lines to get unique results. So this is a 72 box. Let me move the lid out of the way, and ooh, I'm presuming that's a tester of some description. And then we have one lovely tray of colours. I do love the colours, and it's in a little cardboard tray. And then I have a second layer. Oh yeah, so yeah, they're looking a bit definitely dusty, but beautiful colours in these. Yeah, you know me, I do like a bit of bright colours, and they are some nice bright colours. Nice to see two whites, because that's always really useful. I quite like this kind of, like, there's some really nice deep kind of plummy colours down there that are lovely. Nice different range of greens, and another, I'm presuming that's a luminance. I think they must be fluorescent, like a luminous colour. That's lovely as well. Yeah, really lovely colours. What do they say on them? Let's have a look. So we've just got Maries Soft Pastels. A lot of writing that I can't read. Yeah, if there's a colour name and number on there, I can't read it. So I think is where we are with that. I think it's just got maker's information, isn't it? And telephone. I'm guessing that's Maries or whatever this brand is when you read it in Chinese. But yeah, so we haven't got colour names on, but I do love them stored in this nice foam. This foam always delivers stuff so nicely, doesn't it? Everything always arrives so nicely in it. Okay, so the other thing that they've sent me, which will be useful for this, so I'll just slide these out the way for a second while we have a look at this, before I get my fingers absolutely filthy with pastel, is they've also sent me this really nice swatch book. So this book is for watercolour, markers, gouache, coloured pencil, oil pastel and other pigments on paper. It has 12 removable sheets, 36 pages, spaces per page, and is 100% cotton, and it really does feel like it's 100% cotton. They are so lovely. So you have, each page has this kind of, is it rice paper? It's kind of like tracing papery stuff, but it feels like a plasticky version of it. It has one of those to protect the page, and then these pages are, I don't know how well you can tell, but they are really beautiful watercolour card, I would say, really, rather than paper. Really nice and thick. And then obviously you've got little swatch spaces and space for names if you were swatching something that you wanted to record. And then the next page follows the same, so you get another lovely layer of this little paper to protect your sheet. And the other thing I did notice was they're on these little rings, but I think these are the type of rings that you can actually open. Yes, they are. So they are actually joined together by bars. They're not like those individual ones that you can buy. If you were into scrapbooking, you'll have seen them, but they are very much the same in that you can open them up. And so I'm not going to do it because I don't want to take the sheets out, but I'm presuming if you wanted to add some more sheets or take a sheet out to work on, you can actually unhook them. They're quite tight. I'm not going to do it, but you could actually unhook the page you wanted to work in and take it out of the book. I've lost the front of the book now. What have I done? Oh yeah, they're upside down. So yeah, if you wanted just to have you know, a single sheet flat on the desk if you're using watercolour or something like that, and you don't want it to kind of be on a slant so that the paint moves or anything like that, you could actually just take it out of the book completely, which I think is quite nice as well. I do like that adaptability, and the quality of this is lovely. And obviously it does mean you could add some more pages into if you wanted to, or if you wanted to buy a couple of these and then put larger rings on them so that you had a bigger version of this, you could also do that with it. So I think it's quite nice that it's A, it's really beautiful watercolour paper, and B, it's a little bit adaptable. Size wise, I've got my Maria Trolle Starfall, and as you can see, if I get it on the screen that would help, it's a little bit taller than the Starfall by centimetre and a half, something like that. And if I put the spines up, you can see it's a little bit narrower, so it's not a kind of standard size, I don't think, that I recognise. It's certainly not A4 for us people here in the UK, but it's bigger than A5, so it's a kind of, that's how it measures up to my Starfall book in size wise. So I almost don't want to work in it because it's so nice. I kind of feel on this paper I should save it for my best watercolours. That's what I feel like, but I'm not going to. I'm going to swatch some of the, ooh, if I don't knock that little bit of paper off flying. So let's just have a bit of a play and see what these are like. Obviously I'm not going to swatch the whites on a white paper because that's fairly pointless. So they are pretty rounded, I'd say. Yeah, pretty rounded in shape. Let's have a look. Oh, it feels such a waste having it on this lovely paper. Not that it is a waste, I'd still need to see what colours they are, don't I? And they are lovely and bright, is the answer to what colours they are. I wonder if I can get away with 2 on one of these little boxes. Let me see. I know you shouldn't. I'm not sure are they the same colour? I'm not sure whether I think they're the same colour. What do you think? I think they might be. I'm not sure these don't have duplicates next to them. I'm going to jump on to the third one. That's a lovely colour. Yeah, that one's lighter that's next to it, so that one definitely. I think I've definitely missed out one of the yellows now, like an idiot. Okay, I'm gonna obviously I'm gonna see what they're all like, and then I'll get back to you. So I am thinking that I'm going to, let me just pop that down. I'm going to have a go with these in my Maria Trolle book. So I thought I might try and do the background on this page and the hills on this page, and maybe a little bit of this at the front, we'll see. But definitely I've got like a starry night sky here, but I'm thinking I might put a bit of colour in it. And obviously we've got nighttime hills, but again I'm thinking I might put a bit of colour in it, maybe like heathery purples, something like that. So yeah, I'm going to carry on just having a look at the colours on here. That I'll fast forward, it'll probably be like 30 seconds, a minute for you, but obviously it's not going to be that for me. It's going to take me just a little bit longer than that, just so I've got a better idea of what these look like in colour wise. And then yeah, we'll have a play in my Maria Trolle book and see what we can do with them. See you in a minute. Okay, so I've just blown all the dust off out of the window. Out of my room. Yeah, I really quite like the colours. Really nice, bright, vivid palette. We've got some really quite nice natural greens, kind of this area. some lovely kind of softer stone, kind of mountain colours. The fluorescents are not super bright, but they're still pretty bright. And then obviously a wide range of yellows, oranges, quite a range. I like these kind of plummy tones, and then you've got almost a lighter variant of them as well. This one I also like. So yeah, it's a really nice palette of colours, and I don't actually have very much dry pastels at all, so this gives me a much wider palette of colours than I've ever had. I'll pop the links down below for them so you can have a look at how much they are where you're living. I also got a couple of weeks ago off Amazon, I think it's in my haul that's coming up, these little tools. So these are not the brand that they look like they are. These are literally just some cheapy ones off Amazon. So you have two of the kind of triangle footed ones and a bag of triangle foams, and I have two of the more rounded looking tools, and again bag of the more rounded foams to go with. So I'm thinking they will be useful. And I've also fished out my Caran d'Ache textured palette, because I'm thinking I might put the pastel on here and then put it onto my colouring page with the tools, because that'll give me a bit more control, and I am a bit of a control freak, as you know. I've also lifted out that I normally use these with gel crayons, that kind of thing, but these are my smaller ones, so they're just the, you know, again, cheapos off Amazon, makeup-y brushes. I got sets that have the big brushes in, but they quite often came with these little small ones that I don't use a huge amount, so I'm thinking these might be useful just to get into the odd corner or move it a bit. We'll see, I don't know. I'm no expert when it comes to pastels. So I'm going to need to make a bit of room, aren't I? I think I'll move my swatch down there. I'll be able to see it, but unfortunately you won't. But that doesn't matter because you're not trying to do it, are you? So that's okay. We need my little Maria Trolle book. I'm going to just pop those out the way over there. And like I say, I have marked up this page. See how we go. Oh no, my swatch is falling over, sliding over. Let's put my bookmark away. I'm thinking I might want to add a bit of paper in, and I might just add a bit of washi just to keep it in place, because I am a messy worker. I can't say that I'm not. If you see the front covers of my books, you will already know that. So I'm thinking, should I put a border of washi on this page? Let's put that down first. I'm thinking maybe it might make sense to put a bit of washi to keep my border nice, because I'm messy. Yeah, I think I will, you know. Please don't rip on my Maria Trolle book. In fact, let's just put it on my t-shirt a couple of times just to take a bit of the tack off. Just to hopefully keep my border nice and clean, because this obviously can be a little bit more messy with powder. And if you want to keep some of the white page, it's going to be tricky when you're working with pastels. So yeah, if you're nice and tidy, you don't need to do this, but I know I'm not. Now I think I might just put a piece through my trees, except my washi has just ripped up the middle, like how you don't want it to rip. Just a piece for a cross. Now then, where's the lowest point of the sky? About there. Well, that worked well. Not. So, yeah. So I've got myself a little space that hopefully, crossing fingers, shall contain the pastel into. If you're nice and tidy and you don't make a mess, you don't need to do that. You Probably don't need to do that anyway, but I know that I am messy. So I'm going to set a couple of these up. Where's the other triangle-y one? There. So, not tried these at all. Hopefully they're going to be useful. How far onto the triangle-y thing do they go? Oh, quite far. But yes, I have none of the fancy brand that normally have these with them, so I can't compare them. I don't know. I think they're a ridiculous price for what they are. I think this is a much better option. Ooh, the roundy ones are not so easy to get on. Come on. Oh, that's not the one we want. Where's my spare one? Oh, there. Found it. Yeah, the round ones are hard to get on. Yeah, they need a bit of persuading, don't they? Perhaps there's a method to that I don't know. Well, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna need to make a bit of room. Move my keyboard a little bit out of the way, so I can move them over, because I need a bit of... Oh, that was good. Palettes. Taking my masking tape off. The masking tape's going to get on my nerves. I can see it now. Okay, so we've got night sky. So I was thinking something like a bit of kind of... I don't know, maybe a bit of purples. Maybe those purples would be nice. So that is the lightest one. So I think that's going to be too light, but I'm going to lift it out nonetheless. And the one next to it is that one. I think I might lift the darker of them out. And the very dark blue. I'm going to want a blue that will go into that purple. So we'll go with that one, I think. Let's try that. Let's try that. Okay, so I think I want... Let's see how well these... do I want the round one or the triangle? I think we're going to go with the pointy one. Let's get a bit of that on. See how this works. I have never done this before, so this could be a nightmare, or it could be amazing. We don't know unless you give it a go, do we? I think I'm just going to use the point. Yeah, that's probably too light for what I'm thinking. Maybe we'll go in with the darker. Yeah, that's probably more the colour we want. But I'm thinking these would be great for quick, you know, when you know you've got a lot of background. Backgrounds do sometimes take me so long. Let's have a bit of white, I think. I'll bleach them. But yeah, backgrounds take me so long normally. But obviously I've had a bit of a play about with the oil pastel. I think this feels a bit more controllable than the oil pastel. I think the oil pastel's good for bigger spaces, whereas I think because I can use these little pointy tools, I kind of feel like I can control it a little bit more. But obviously this would do big space as well, quite nicely. want a bit of pink in that. Is that mad? What colour is that? I can just about see. It's next to the greens. So the one next to the green is quite dark. I might have a little bit of that one. I'm going to put it back in its place now. I don't get it confused. Perhaps I should use the other tool for that. Try one of these roundy ones. I do like a bit of pink in with my purple. I don't know if it makes any sense for a night sky, but going with it. I think realistically I'm probably not going to be able to keep these little tiny circles clean, but we'll see. Yeah, I think the triangle one is definitely a bit more controllable. Can I work my way around the star? A little bit. Yeah, quite liking it. Got a bit of pink over there. Get my hand. A bit more of the pink over here. Oh, I needed the triangle one here. Managed, I think. I was going to do the navy at the top, but I'm quite liking the kind of pinks and purples. I might carry on with them instead. What do you think? I'm not sure. I do like it. I like the colours. It's quite controllable like this. Not sure, I needed the masking tape now I'm looking at it. I'm thinking maybe a bit of the blue. Let's try that. Where's the other pointy tool? Because some of these bits are a little bit small up here, so I'm thinking it's going to be a bit more tricky to control. Let's see what this blue looks like with it. Yeah, that's alright, isn't it? Let's have a look here. Don't want to blow it too much because I'll have a desk full of bits. In the main I'm going to keep them on, but I just wanted to see how that blend line's looking between the two. Just going to use the pink to blend in a little bit, I think. Yeah, quite like the blue. Think I'm liking it. Think it's going alright. So what do I want here? We'll put a little bit of purple on first. And then we'll swap back to the blue, which is the other triangle one. Yeah, this is a little bit of a tight space. Can I get in there? Oh yes, can. Yeah, definitely recommend these little tools. You're going to get these things make these so much more useful. Let's get out there a bit on the end. Same again, just use that bit with the pink on just to blend them through a bit. Yeah, I'm amazed I've been able to get in there. Oh, there's that bit as well, isn't there? That just needs to be blue. Super. So I just got this little bit with squirrel, and I've got this little bit, so we'll get with purple first. Do you know, these are so cost effective as well, aren't they? I've used so little of this product to do this with. These will last me forever. Spoilt the choice with colours with these though, there's some really lovely colours in here. Now, I need to try not to obliterate my squirrel here. Being Mrs. Clumsy. Although I'm thinking when I've sprayed it down, should be able to work over reasonably easy, I think. Let's get a bit of pink on. Not worried about these dots in these little areas because they're just too small. I might put them back in with a bit of acrylic marker once it's all set. these little bits. We'll do them little bits in a minute. I'll check it out and do the slightly bigger one first. Here's my pinky one to blend them. Back to the blue one to do these tiny bits. Yeah, I'm half thinking I could do the trees with these. I didn't think I'd be able to control it this well. But actually, it's going quite well. I think these tools might be my new favourite thing. Because look how useful they make these pastels. Right, is that all the little bits of sky? I think it is. Now, question is, do I want just a little bit of the super dark in? Let's just clean my blue one off a little bit. I've got a bit of spare paper. And just try a little bit with the dark. I put the wrong blue on then. Yeah, quite like the with the darker one as well. Yeah. Alright, is that everywhere of the sky? It is. Okay, I'm going to pause here because I need to swap my tools out and obviously clean my palette up and just blow all this dust off my mountains and hills here so we can work on the hills. So I'll be back in a sec when I've just had a bit of a clean down and we'll go on to the hills. Okay, so we're back. I literally just went my palette with a wet wipe, added new ends on my little tool. Is that it? Oh, I've just blown all the dust outside. I have taken that one off the top there because I was really worried it was going to stick, and it was sticking quite badly. I don't think I'm advising using washi tape as a mask. I'm not looking forward to getting these other ones off, but we'll worry about that another time. Okay, so I'm ready to do my hills, and I'm thinking I might possibly even use the same colours in the trees, so we'll just peel that back a bit off both of those. Please don't rip. And that's a bit we don't even need. So I might uncover my trees as well. That's if I can persuade my masking tape to not annoy me any more than it already is. See, it has worked in that it's kept a really nice edge there. That bit's going to be annoying now, isn't it? Oh, never mind. We'll just do that for now. Okay, so colours. Greens. We've got some nice greens in here. But I'm also thinking I might add a bit of purple into it as well from the sky. Greens. I really quite like these greens. So these are next to the purple I was just using. So that's the first one. Maybe fish out the darker one, which I think is that one. Do I want some yellows? Maybe a bit of yellow might be quite nice, this kind of ochre colour. So there's two. The one next to the orange is the brighter one, this one. Do I want a bit of this brown? I think we'll have a bit of that as well. I think we'll go with that for now. I might add a bit of the pink in. We'll see as we go. Dunno. I'll bring you in a bit more. Because I don't think you need to see my palette so much, do you really? Because I'm only picking it up off the palette. Take you up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to stick, I think I definitely prefer these triangle shaped ones. They seem really nice and controllable. I've kept a bit of the white on my palette. I'm just gonna put my colours down and we'll see where we go with it. I don't really have a plan for what I'm doing at the minute, but yeah, sometimes it's the best way, isn't it? What colour do I want to go in with? I think I'm not going to use a huge amount of the brown, so we'll put that on the round one. Just in. Leave that on there, and then I might use a bit of the yellow on the tops, but we'll probably blend into the greens when I come back in a minute. The lighter the green. Oh yeah, it's alright, isn't it? Don't mind that. Gosh, it's so quick. This would take me so long in colour pencil. yellow there. Quite pleased with it. I think I want a bit of the darker in there, but I'll come in back in with it in a minute. Let's try this darker one. Don't want to go too mad with it, the dark one. Sorry, just had to answer the door. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave my hills at that, so swap back to the other two colours. Need a little bit more brown, I think. I think I'll do the one here as well. Not sure what this line is. Yeah, it's a path. I think it's going to be a path now. Bit more tricky with the rounder one and the tighter spaces. Okay, and then the yellow. Well, it's like an ochre, isn't it? This rather than yellow. It's not bright banana, so it's quite nice, soft, natural hue. these are rocks, aren't they, here? I have to think about what I want to do with those. That for that, and then I want the lighter one, which is this. Okay, do this one first, I think. I have to say, it's very relaxing doing this. It's literally just, it goes on so easily. You can just keep layering the colour up a little bit because I'm not putting loads on. So I think I definitely need some darker bits. So now I've got the two hills together, I definitely want that one darker, I think now. Might even get a darker brown out in a minute for there, I don't know, we'll see. Yeah. Same down here. Here. Yeah, I quite like this kind of dabbing technique, it's quite controllable. Like that. And because we're kind of doing this kind of grassy kind of mountain effect, we don't want it too even and smooth, so that kind of works. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe a little bit dark brown here and there. I don't want it too just green. I think. I almost like the little bits on the surface, but obviously they're not going to stay there. Right, back to the other green, which I need a little bit more. This last hill. awkward to get in where the spine of the book is. Doable. Swap to the dark one again. Maybe just a little bit more. Just dropped it everywhere. Didn't want to do that. Knocking it off the tool because you're being clumsy. I think. Still think I want a darker brown. Let me have a look at my swatch. So the fluorescent ones, I don't want something. 1, 2, 3. We'll try that one. I've got this one out. So it's quite a kind of, oh, you can't quite see it, can you? If we go over a bit, it's quite a chocolate shade. I think I'm going to use the tool that I did this colour with because I don't think I'm going to put any more of that on. I'm presuming these will just wash with a bit of soap. I've never had them before. You got anything like this? What am I best? Just a bit of dish soap or something like that. Oh yeah, this is the colour I wanted. I think. Just to knock a few sections back a bit. Not sure how easy it'll be to take some of these lines out with an acrylic pen later. I'll have to see when I've set it what I think. Not that they're terrible, are they? But is there anywhere else I need a bit of darkness? Maybe a little bit up there. I just want to blend it in, but I think I'm going to do that. Oh, I'll just drop that on the floor. Dope! Do that with the green one. Just soften it into the... Perhaps a bit much there. No idea whether this is the best thing to do or not. I just want to take a little bit of the brown off. That's a bit too much there. I'm going to add a bit of the yellow back in. Starting to get a bit picky now, I think. Yeah. Could be here all afternoon. that bit's still a bit bright, isn't it, there? The brown's a bit heavier there. Less is more with the darker colours, otherwise they'll take over. I wonder if I just try a bit of white on it, and that'll just soften it a little bit. I don't love that bit either now. In danger of messing too much. Right, I'm literally just gonna blow all the bits out the window. Just a second. Ooh. Okay, I think I'm going to live with that. I'll have a little plop there. I seem to have got a little bit on the sky, which I do not want. It's my unwashed inky purple one. There we are. Okay, so do I want to do the trees at the top in the pastel? Let's give it a go. I'm thinking I might. Now I've got a little bit that's ripped there, so I'm thinking the pastel might show it up a little bit. And as you can see, I did rip the edge as well, taking the stupid masking tape off. Dare I take this masking tape off? I kind of want to see how much it rips. I was so annoyed that it ripped a bit before. That bit behaved. Hurrah! That bit's behaved. One less, please be good. Oh, that bit's ripping. Oh, at least it's only a white border. How annoying. I just don't get why it's all fine and then just takes a little bit off. Anyway, oh, you can't see that bit, sorry. It's all come off, but it has ripped a tiny bit down here, but you can't see it. So it's all good. Right, yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to do the trees very similar colours to the sky, because obviously it's night, so I don't want them too bright. Might just have to clean my little brown tool off. It fell on the floor. There's that bit of paper I had. Get that very dark off. Feels like it's coming off, that little sponge. That's enough, I think. Okay, so I'm going to start the same as I did before. I'm going to do the highlighty bits with the yellow. I think I'm going to do these trees very, very similar to the hills. Just might use a little bit less brown on my trees though. Not sure, I might not use the dark brown on the trees because they're trees. That's going to be darker, so I'll just do this bit. Just dropped it everywhere again. Idiot. everywhere for my highlight. I think it is. Then I'm going to go in with the medium of the greens, this one. If there's another green I want to add in. No, I think I'll stick with the ones I've got. Let's move that. Okay, I'll start over here. I want a bit of something a bit brighter on the tree. I'm wondering about this tone. Trouble is, I haven't got a spare tool now, so I wonder if one of my little brushes would work as well. Let's try it. It feels like it might ping it off everywhere. I definitely prefer the flat tool, but it's alright for adding in a little bit of colour. Yeah, it's definitely, oh, going in the wrong colour now. Definitely easier to control it with this kind of tool rather than this kind of tool. Or maybe it's just that I've done a bit more of it now, but I feel like this one kind of pushes it into the paper a little bit more, whereas this feels like it moves it about a bit more rather than placing it, if you kind of see what I mean. I'm tempted to just try and pick this other colour up on the same one. Let's see. Yeah, it's alright, I'll keep doing that, I think. A bit more of the other green on. Yeah, I quite like this kind of more limey looking green in with it as well. Don't want loads because obviously these trees are at night, so they wouldn't be super bright. But it just warms the colour up a little bit here and there, so it's not all the same tone. Just get in there a bit. Then the underneath bit I'm thinking we need to do in the dark one, because that one's more in shadow. Yeah, how to get in here without losing the branches. darker. A darker one of those. No, I think that's the darkest one, isn't it? Maybe I'll try a tiny smidge of the. Maybe I want a darker brown than that. Less red. Let's try that. Just pick this colour out, which is a darker brown. Just gonna try a smidge in there just to darken it off, so it's a bit kind of night gloomy. Yeah, that's better, I think. That's what. Yeah, I think that's more what I want. Just use the pointed one to move it a bit. Yeah. Need some more dark. Just move my book over a little bit. Yeah, this little bit where it's making a little bit of a pattern is where I've ripped the paper, taking the mask off. Don't. What an idiot. I need to get some better actual masking tape that will come off. Any recommendations for tape that will actually come off? I don't often mask something very often. Missed a little bit there. Need a bit of the lighter green there. Do it before I forget. So annoying. It is what it is. Done it now, so I'm gonna have to live with that little bit of darkness. Oh, don't know why I'm doing the darkness bit first on this one, but apparently I am. Ugh, dropping it everywhere, just being clumsy. Just as well it just blows off. Let's have a final blow of the loose powder off. Okay, so I think that's probably as much as I'm going to do with the pastels on it. Obviously I'm going to need a little bit of colour pencil work in some of the details down here at the front, because obviously I've got these little tiny flowers, little leaves, my little squirrel. Might do a bit of metallic in the stars or something like that. I think might work quite nicely, but yeah, I'm quite impressed with these, and like I say, this set will last me forever. This has been a lot quicker doing it as dry pastel to start this image off rather than colour pencil work, and obviously now I've got a good base just to add a bit of detail with colour pencil. I'm going to need to fix it. You can use satin glazing liquid over dry powder like this, but you're probably going to move the powder a little bit because the powder is still very loose. So I will probably spray this with a workable fixative so it still allows me to work in the other areas, which probably will create a bit of texture from a colour pencil, so it won't be quite as nice a surface as this book is normally. But yeah, I'm really quite pleased. And for this Maria Trolle book that she has a lot of quite big backgrounds like this and quite bold pages, I think actually this set will be really useful for it. I really like the colour selection that's in here. There's a really nice palette of quite bright colours. Obviously all this green works in quite natural tones, ochres, browns, quite soft greens, really lovely. I think the only thing I'm not seeing in this set colour wise is probably colours that you might use on a skin palette, so I think that would be the only thing this set wouldn't be suitable for. But for landscapes and all of this kind of thing, I think this set is perfect, and let's be honest, considerably cheaper than the big brands that a lot of people have. This set of tools were pretty cheap on Amazon, makes this set really very useful. I think this is definitely my preferred way to use them, because you're kind of keeping control of it in a palette. I'm half wondering if I use my watercolour base that I make my watercolours with, whether I could actually make paint out of these as well, out of the powders that I've now got on my palette. But that's another experiment for another day. But yeah, really quite pleased with it. I really quite like how the skies, I think I'm going to use these for sky quite often, because that was much quicker, and I faff about with skies with coloured pencil quite a lot, and that was so much quicker for a really nice sky. I do quite like it on the mountains as well. I might work back in with my trees here and there, I think, once I've set it with a little bit of coloured pencil, but I think I'm going to leave the sky and the hills. I think I'm quite pleased with that as it is. So many thanks to Lightwish as usual for sending me this lovely palette. It was this set, so it's a Maries Soft Pastels, 70 colours. I think, like I say, these are going to last me forever because there's so much in there and you use so little when you're doing something like this. Again, I really like having it on the palette, gives me a bit more control. I am a bit of a control freak. You could have obviously used the pastels straight onto here, and sometimes if you want a highlight, working in straight on might be the way to go, but because obviously working on colouring pages, and we do like a little bit of control, don't we? I think this is the way I will probably always use them, and yeah, I quite like it. It's been very controllable, it's easy to clean up, literally wet wipe across my palette and it's done. And yeah, I'm just gonna spray that down and leave it outside for a few moments just to dry it off, and then you're not smelling it inside. Outside is my preferred choice if you're spraying a pastel piece like this. Normally 2 layers, so spray it, let it dry, again give it another second coat, let it dry, and then you're normally fine to work over. And obviously that's what I'm going to do for some of these. But thank you very much for watching. Any questions, do feel free to add them into the comments. I am no expert on pastel colours by any means. Yeah, I don't have, this is the biggest set of dry pastels that I have, but yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to use them quite a bit for skies and backgrounds, things like that, because it's much quicker. And yeah, I quite like the finish that it's given you. It's got kind of slightly dappled look, isn't it? I quite like that. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully it was useful to you. By all means, ask me some questions if you feel a need in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.